Hi, my name is Josh Gottry. Welcome to today's weekly lesson. Today we're going to look at a resource that is available as an app that might be particularly useful to us as percussionists. This app is called Coach's Eye. It is available on Android and iOS. I'm working with it here on my iPad. And it was, as you might imagine from the title, designed for use with athletes in evaluating efficiency of motion and consistency of motion. As percussionists, that's something that we do as well. Really spend some time evaluating how our body moves, how our hands are positioned, how our strokes repeat themselves over and over again. And so this is a particularly valuable resource for us as well as percussionists, considering the, I guess you could say, athletic nature of our instrument. So we're going to take a look at this app, show you some of the tools that are available within it. It's a little bit more than your typical take a video recording and watch your own practice. Certainly that's something that every musician should do, audio and or video record practices and performances for evaluation. This takes it one step further and allows you to do some slow motion and even do some drawing on the screen to evaluate your performance relative to a fixed medium and things like that. So anyway, this is a video I took a couple weeks ago, just evaluating and looking at a basic accent exercise and how my stroke types, or stroke heights, corresponded to that particular exercise. So I've got the video open. I'm going to go ahead and push the play button, which is going to give me the opportunity to analyze, and you'll see a couple things that we've got here. So first of all, on the side, we've got some drawing tools, and that allows us to try and give us extra points of reference as to our performance while we're evaluating it. Then I can take and I can scroll this along forwards and backwards at any point to analyze a specific part in my performance, or just push play and allow the performance to proceed at a regular tempo, or push the slow motion and slow that pace down. And you can do this with sound or without sound. Right now I'm doing without sound, simply just so you can see what's happening and allow myself to talk over it. So I'm going to scroll back just a little bit. I'm looking right about there is the highest that my right hand gets, and that's the peak of my stroke. Now, if I were to do this again, obviously I'd zoom out a little bit so I can check that stroke a little bit more specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and take my line tool here, and I'm going to give myself a straight line, and we're going to go ahead and draw that right here to match what my stick looks like. So that's right alongside the stick. Then I'm going to take another one, and when I get to the highest point of my left hand, which is right about there, I'm going to go ahead and draw that as well. So right on top of the stick there. Okay, so now what I can do is, as I scroll along, I can watch and see how consistently does that accent height in any given hand match that same stick position. So we're looking right here at my right hand. How closely does that match? Well, that's pretty closely to where I had drawn the line in the first place. So let's go on and look at the next accent stroke. Again, right next to that same yellow line. And in between, of course, I would look at my left hand. Where did my left hand come? That same position. Okay, now I also have, of course, non-accented strokes. Okay, some of these strokes are staying down or unaccented. So there's the peak of my right hand, and I'm going to try and draw as best I can. I'll use a red line here, a nice horizontal line as far as where that height was. And what I'm looking for now, it's almost horizontal. What I'm looking for now is, okay, that's the peak of my right hand when it's unaccented. What's the peak of my left hand when it's unaccented? And you can see it went just above that red line. Okay, there's an accent stroke in the left hand. There's a non-accented stroke in the right hand. A little bit above the red line. Non-accent stroke in the left hand. A little below the red line. The right hand again right at the red line. Okay, and there's my left hand just below the red line. So that's something I could look at and say, okay, it may not be much, but it seems like my left hand non-accent is staying just below where my right hand non-accent. And again, if I had taken this video and zoomed out a little bit more, I could draw that same line in terms of my accent height. Now I notice that my right hand and left hand, when I scroll through the process, are very consistent as far as the accent height, left hand to left hand, right hand to right hand. The question would be, if I were to zoom out and really look straight on how do my right hand accents compare to my left hand accents and vice versa. So it gives us a really good opportunity to check also things like the grip. How does my hand look when it's in that position? Am I changing the grip at any point in time? Do I see any fingers, pinky finger flying off when I go to that upper stroke? Or am I keeping that grip really consistent? You can see the fingers are closed right there. Not tight, but closed, and they stay that way throughout the stroke. So there's some consistencies of grip that I can evaluate as well through this. So again, this app is called Coach's Eye. It's available, like I said, Android and iOS. And it's certainly a great tool to go one step further in the process of video yourself and evaluate it, to really allow yourself to draw circles, lines, check positions. You could even go so far as to say, well, where am I striking on the drum? Well, my left stick hit right there, and so I could draw a circle right there on that position, and then check, did my left stick, okay, so my right stick is hitting right over there. Did my left stick hit the same spot every time, regardless of whether it was an accent or a non-accent stroke? And it seems like it was very consistent, although if I were to look more carefully, I might say, well, can I bring my right stick and left stick closer together? Again, Coach's Eye, great tool for evaluation of practice and improving some details of your technique. Hope that helps you. Have a great week.